Sithe Magadlela is making quite the name for himself in kickboxing with national championship and a world championship at just 10 years old. Now, while his success has been wonderful, it has also brought the reality of funding that so many South Africans experience. Now, for more on this, we are joined by the champ himself, as well as his mother, Sivuyisiwe Magadlela. A very good afternoon to you too.
Hi, Malume.
How are you, Sithe?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you, Malume?
Should I call you champ?
If you want to, Malume.
You are a world champ.
Yes, Malume.
How does it feel to be a world champ, Sithe?
It's nice, and the fact that I know I'm going to fight a lot of people is on my shoulder.
You like to fight?
Yes, Malume.
Why?
It helps me with self-defense,
Okay.
and I can travel the world.
You travel the world. Where have you been? Where have you traveled to?
I've been to Dubai,
Okay.
not to fight there, but to go by there. And I've been to Italy and Belgium to fight, and I became a world champion in Italy.
In Italy?
Under 28 points fighting.
Okay, when was this?
It was last year, August,
Yeah.
somewhere there, Malume.
And that's where you became a world champ?
Yes, Malume.
Okay. Now tell me about why kickboxing. How did you get into kickboxing, Sithe?
I joined kickboxing for self-defense, and my mother and father inspired me because my father did judo,
Okay.
and my mother did karate. So at the time, we were looking for karate. Then I found kickboxing. I actually enjoyed it, and the first day I was there, I actually was practicing with my pajamas.
In your pajamas?
Yes, Malume.
So you said you started 2 years ago, and you're at 8 years old. So within 2 years, you've become a world champ.
Yes, Malume.
Is this with the help of your mother?
My mother, my sensei, and my coaches.
Let me speak to Mami. Sivu, I mean, as he says that he got inspired by you and his father. Just tell me about his journey that in 2 years, starting at 8 years old, now he's 10 years old, he's already seen the world, as he says, and he's a world champ.
Yes, as he has mentioned, we started 2 years back. At the time, we were actually really looking for karate when we arrived relocated to Katu. So after we couldn't find karate, then we went to kickboxing. And on that day, he said, Mama, I think I want to fight here. So he was in pajamas on the first day, as he has mentioned, yes. Then he started enjoying kickboxing. And when we found out that there was karate, he said, no, I'm good here. I'm staying here. So he was very much dedicated from the beginning, and I think his instructor, Sensei David, identified his talent as well, his strengths and his weaknesses. So he supported him. The whole team actually supported him, not only him, and the other fighters as well. Fortunately, after 11 months of joining the club, he was identified as one of the fighters that needed to represent the region, which he made it to SAs. Then he became SA champion. So we were also invited then to represent South Africa to the World Championships, and also to the African Championships in Egypt. Unfortunately, because of the fights that were happening, we could not go. So he did made it to Belgium and Italy to represent South Africa, and he came back with 4 silvers.
4 silvers, 1 bronze, and 1 gold.
Sure, that's a lot.
Yes.
Do you carry them all on your neck? Are they not heavy?
They are, Malume.
But this year, he also needed to defend his SA titles, which he did, and hence we are here today to go again to defend his world champion and fight for other titles as well.
Tell me about that from a mother, a coach, and a manager's perspective. What does it take to have a talented youngster who's not only talented, but a world beater in this regard? It must be challenging, especially, you know, as a 10-year-old.
It is challenging, Bodhi, because there's a lot of balancing that needs to take place. He's a kid above it all. He's also a learner. He's also a fighter. So we have to balance different hats that he has to put at different times. And also myself as well, as a mother and as a coach, because when sometimes we are there with the other coaches and the instructors, he is not my son. He is just a fighter like other fighters. So there will be a kid in him that kicks in to say he wants more attention, but you always have to and make him understand emotional and psychological to say, boy, when we are here, Mama is not just your mom, he's a mother to everyone that is around. So there is a lot of having to remind him all the time to say, you are a fighter, you are a student, you are a kid. And also on the balancing of academics, there's a lot of challenging because it requires a lot of commitment from him to exercise on a day-to-day basis. And there's also demands at school. So at times he cries, he doesn't want to study, he doesn't want to go to gym because he says, I can't do it all at once. So we always have to encourage him and manage him. Fortunately enough, his instructor as well, he's very supportive in that aspect. Sometimes he will say, it's exam time, take a day or two, then we're trying to find a balance as much as we can.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the funding aspect of smaller sporting codes. That it takes a lot of money for a young kickboxer to go to Italy. Tell me about that. I mean, is there funding, SASCOC, Corporate South Africa? How does it work?
Unfortunately, let me start with the unfortunate part. We don't have a sponsor yet. We don't have funding from any organization. Last year, we had to knock different doors at a later stage. Then one of the companies, which I will not disclose, was willing to assist. So same applies this year. We were actually seeking funding on our own capacity, not as a capacity from SACA or SASCOC. So we nearly ended up not going this year. It was really tough. We hit at the 50% fundraising, we can't do it anymore. But fortunately enough, some anonymous person, who doesn't prefer not to be disclosed,
sure.
Yes, he did step up last week, and he said, I will pay the balance. So it is still hard for the sport code kickboxing. So I think it's because it's still new in South Africa. The fraternal of kickboxing is still trying to get the sport out there. As you know, it's a European sport. It's not like the South African sport. So we're trying to get people to understand that now it has been registered in South Africa as a sporting code. So we're hoping
with
that
SASCOC.
with SASCOC as well. Now we are registered with SASCOC. So
and you're saying that also there's a team that is traveling. Where's the team traveling, and you are the team leader?
Yes, I am appointed as a team leader by SASCOC.
Okay.
We're traveling to Hungary on the 23rd of August. We're coming back on the 1st of August.
That's like in 2 weeks.
Yes,
next
it is.
week.
It is in 2 weeks. Yes, it is in 2 weeks. So it is a struggle, but I'm not going to lie when it comes to finances. And we are hoping that the more we get out there to platforms like this one, people will get to understand that it is a sport, it requires funding. We cannot afford to fund it out of our pockets, including SACA. We don't have a sponsor as SACA as yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So as things stand, there is enough funds for them to travel?
Yes, we have managed to reach 100% for us to travel. We just need to get the extras, because we haven't paid for the registration of fighting, we haven't paid for the clothing and all those things, because it needs a proper fighting gear, which it's not just any other gear, it's a certain brand. So we're just touching base on those things. But in terms of the flights, the accommodation, by God's grace, we've managed to reach the target.
Sithe, talk to me about going back, going to Hungary in 2 weeks and going there as a world champ. How does it feel? Because clearly there will be other kickboxers from around the world who want your title.
Malum, there's gonna be so far we are 45 in a category.
Sure.
And this year there will not be like a bigger advantage for me because I'm good at continuous and kick light, where you continue fighting.
Yes,
but now we'll be fighting for points. When we get a point, we stop. So that's my disadvantage. And the other guys, Europeans, are very fast.
They use the point system.
They use the point system because they've been doing it for years and years. What's
your strongest weapon when you're fighting? Is it the sidekick?
It's the sidekick.
I could tell. I could tell that the sidekick is definitely that. I was hoping that you'll be able to show me your sidekick, but we'll see if we can do that if we have time, because I've got a better sidekick than yours. I'm telling you. Just quickly then, before we wrap up the conversation, I mean, you're speaking about the funding, and for people that want to find more information, maybe that want to assist in one way or the other, where and how can they get the information to assist?
I'm not sure if I can provide the information from SACA capacity.
Sure.
I can provide information from our own capacity.
Either way.
I can give my number, maybe in the email address. Is that fine?
Okay. If you are comfortable with it.
I'm comfortable with that. My cell number is
073 800 8012.
Okay.
My email address is simagadlela@gmail.com.
All right.
simagadlela@gmail.com.
Fantastic.
However, if companies want to donate, I think it's better that they donate directly to SACA.
To SACA.
Yeah, so that
So they can go to the SACA website and find more information.
They can go through me. I can provide the right platform.
That's
yes.
perfect. Thank you so much
Thank you, sir.
for coming through. Sithe, we will be waiting for you when you come back. You'll be a double world champ.
Yes, Malone.
So can we stand up and you're going to show me your sidekick?
If you want to, Malone.
Okay, let's do that. We're going to go to Naledi after this. Come, let's do it. Let's see if we can manage it with the camera. Where can we go? Okay. Show me. Yay!